Hello everybody. I did a race and I will do a few more. The super cool league with Bailey and friends, and Jimmy was there as well, with sort of late 90s BTCC type cars. I don't race a lot at all. In fact, my last race was with these guys last year, and the season before that one race as well, and then I think we have to go back at least a decade since I did some online racing. My name this season is Jam Remmers, and if you are aware of racing, you know Jan Rammers, you know. Jan Lammers, he drove BTCC in the Volvo, not without incident. He also won Le Mans, so he is good after all. So let's look at the race because I'm very inexperienced and my goal this season is to not murder people despite my last name. Let's see how that goes. Okay, this is not the start. This is the start of the warm-up lap. Oops. Critical to warm the brakes on the warm-up lap. So I adjusted the physics. This season, I volunteered to have a look at them. The old physics were quite fun, but also lacking a few of the AMS options, and tire wear was very simplified. Aero was very simplified. You could get away with quite a bit of stuff that you probably might not want to get away with. So the physics are definitely changed. We got some data from actually one of the owners of one of these Volvos. These Volvos, yeah, the one there, Simon in P3. So there is an element of real data in this, but also still an element of who knows. At least the torque curve is accurate, because it's actual Tom Walker Show racing data for that. So that's really cool. Is this fair? Am I? Probably. We're not very on the limit with our grid positions. Let's see how we get away. Starting is a little tricky. You can just drop the clutch and then control the wheel spin. Jimmy had a silly start, we will see that in the third race. It was absolutely insane. Master of tarmac starts. So we're away, frontal drive, of course, always wheel spin on the start you have to take care of. You do have to warm the brakes on the warm-up lap because they don't bite unless they're about 300. So here where we hit the brakes you want them to be nice and warm, and a lot of people went straight ahead out of the pits, turn one. Oh yeah, the brakes don't work. That's an element that isn't hugely important because once they are okay, they're okay. And it only takes a lap of a bit of brake dragging to warm them up, but you should not forget to do that. Very nice track here in Sydney. This chicane, so over the top there, it's really cool. So how are we doing? Well, I'm in P2. Being bullied by Jimmy, in fact, who came in sort of last minute, no practice. He did quite well. Yes, you could argue that, of course, being the guy who made the mod, I'm at some form of advantage. But at the same time, my talent is limited and I have no racing experience really. So I want to take it sort of cautiously, hopefully. We might see evidence of something else, but hopefully fairly cautiously. So turn one is a bit sketchy. Some guys ran less wing and that really made the back end very loose. So that was interesting. A few times there was some tandem drifting, unintentional later. So we already see a small problem. Oscar is too quick, so we need to figure out some form of weight penalty for the rest of the season for the Peugeots because they are doing too well. The cars are all basically the same. The physics are the same except for the wheelbase of the car, because in order to make it look correct. Oh, Jimmy has the nose fairly close to my rear end there. That's daddy sniffing going on there. There are some audio issues, we might be able to fix them later. You get some weird high-pitched obvious noises. Pitch is my favorite word. So Oscar is getting away a little bit, and I'm a little worried with Jimmy in the mirror. I think he'll put one on me soon. And that's the theme. These races, at least the first races, I just want to not cause trouble. There goes Jimmy. So I want to stay out of trouble and not end anybody's race. I don't really care. I do this for fun, and if I'm 10th in the championship or second, I don't really matter. This is a very tricky chicane, like it goes up and down, and it's really cool. I'm not happy at the moment with this mirror being full of ex-shed dweller. So there is a little difference because the wheelbase, of course, does affect the stability of the car and the handling a little bit. And in theory, probably the car with the longest wheelbase might be a tenth or so quicker, but it's really close. And the spread in talent as Jimmy makes a move. Ooh, he does. Oh, a slight leaning, but it is BTCC, so this was a nice fair move. Let's see that again. Nice side-by-side race. Ooh, Jimmy does run out a little wide, but it's alright. The cool thing about AMS is that the netcode seems to be quite well, so you can lean a little bit, do a bit of the touring car driving, and I want to cut back in because easy to get on the wrong side and lose multiple positions. So Jimmy's ahead of me now. I do think I'm a little quicker, but that's the thing. I'm so used to not racing and just being on my own and being distracted with people around. It's very hard to get into the rhythm that I might be able to on my own. So we have a Volvo getting friendly at the back. During the test race we had an incredible slipstream effect, which was hilarious but also really too strong. So now you see he can just about approach, but doesn't go for it. I'm kind of fine with this, just being in third place and see what happens. Jimmy is out of practice. I also notice his driving style tends to be a bit wild. Lots of inputs and stabbing at the pedals. I think I'm a little smoother. I'd like to think so. So who knows, perhaps at the end of the race my tires will give me 1% more grip. And here, yeah, this is like a fifth gear, flat out right-hander, and then braking. Then with these front-wheel drive cars, braking and entering at a high speed is pretty risky. You can make it more stable with aero or with the setup, but then you have understeer elsewhere. So this is sort of a turn that it's more about coping with possible lift-off oversteer. So I didn't want to go too wide there. I was overtaken there at some point as well, but it's not. I'm not comfortable yet with those moves. Jimmy gets a decent exit. I get a decent exit as well, but the toe is not like the pre-season test, so I'm not sure what I can do. Go for the outside here. While shouting, would you like to keep me as a sponsor? But Jimmy doesn't flinch. I tried to get the cut back here, but his exit is too good, and it's been very, very tempting to try and outbrake somebody, but well, I kind of do it. Oh, there's the high-pitched sound. See, this is fair racing. A little bit of a touch, but no stratosphere crashes in AMS from that. It's getting very close. Simon sniffing the Holden's ass. So I just really enjoyed being here, even though I wasn't sure if I had the confidence or the speed to really attack. I was just going to be in the mirrors and see if there was a mistake made and a chance occurring there. Because it's very tempting to go for an outbraking maneuver and then miss your braking point and then ram somebody off. And that's my last name here, but I don't want to do that. So being very cautious. You know, being in the mirror, Jimmy struggles a bit there, but then couldn't quite. Of course he goes to the inside. I'm not quite there, so that's cool. This line in this corner is interesting as well. If you stay to the right, you can go too much throttle too early, too much understeer and run wide, and then you have a worse exit. So it pays, I think, to be a bit, to lift a little here and then be straight lining it on the inside. You know, where I'm not now, that's where you want to be. Simon is doing a better job, so he gets a better exit there. But this bumpy uphill chicane is not really a place to take too wide, so this goes on for a little bit. So a bit of slipstreaming, but not strong enough. Oh, there we have, I think I was doing the old on the curbs, the Rifto entry, which of course makes the Volvo interested, so I block it a little bit by taking a middle line here to make it more difficult for Simon to think of going on the inside there. Oh, parts flying. I don't know whose parts those are. So my brilliant sideways entry lost me some place, but I think I can gain that back. I think I'm pace-wise I'm fine. I'm just not used to racing. Oh, yeah, the off-road skills here. Pavilion micro machines. So turn 1, you could do it with a lift, but depending on your... Oh, another... Look at the bumper. Oh, we have like a trippy... Yeah, that's a trippy floaty bumper. Excellent. Physics, nice. There's a bit of a train behind me. I didn't really notice that. Also, one of the things you can do as an amateur racer, which I am, is focus too much on the mirror. Which is scary with a big Volvo in there. And this is a little annoying, because I know I have the speed. Probably just a few tenths a lap quicker than Jimmy, but being surrounded by angry drivers makes it hard to be smooth and do the lap times that I know I can do. So that's something to work on for the rest of the season. Getting more comfortable without ruining people's races. I know Jimmy tends to outbrake himself a little, so I want to be... Oh, we still have the magic spinny bumper. I think it's from a Ford. Oh, what's happening here? So here we have a little bit of a formation here where Jimmy goes wide, I go a bit too wide, and I sense, you know, if Jimmy's going wide, I want to be on the inside, and then Simon says, yeah, but I want to be on the inside. So get a bit of a nudge, but that's kind of fine here because, like I said, you know, you see the net code, it allows it. I'm quick with the opposite lock. Catch it just fine. Yeah, we do have to fix the audio on the Volvo. It seems to be fine with the other cars. So I gained a bit on Jimmy there, but then with that moment lose a bit of time as well. Ooh, I can still have a bit of coffee. So I'm thinking, how can I change this? I don't think I have the confidence and the experience to be making super like too wide risky moves. I don't want to do that this first race. I want to be clean. Yet I'm a bit quicker and I'm a bit bullied from behind. I might lose a few more places, I don't know. But like I said, this league is just for fun. The racing was very good, I think, this weekend. Serious but fun, and it's more about having an enjoyable experience than... that's sideways again. Yes, the skills. I should do a video about front wheel drive and car setup as well, but that's not for today. Jimmy manages to outbrake himself, and you should actually ask him and myself actually what pedals we use, because the braking there wasn't amazing. So it's more about competing and having fun and learning the racecraft a little bit again. First race 25 minutes, we are fast forwarding now a little bit. Jimmy runs, you see, now I'm thinking it's almost clear that Jimmy will run wide, and I also mess it up a bit because you tend to follow the guy in front. I never have somebody in front because I'm always in front. No, I'm always the only one on the track when I do my testing. It's so easy to follow somebody's mistake, and we both run wide, whereas if I was smarter and I knew he was gonna run wide, I could do a late entry, fast straight exit, and we still have spinny bumper. Then on the exit I might go side by side, and then this corner we may have an issue, but then we'll see about that. So I see areas where I could have put a bit more pressure on him and learn from his mistakes. We do it again. So, oh yeah, I love the bumper. It's like the rebel bumper. We have a Peugeot on our back. So the Volvo made way for the Peugeot. Peugeot did well the first race. So, oh, there Jimmy. There goes Jimmy. He makes a mistake. Enters quite abruptly and then brakes and a little bit off curb, and it's not easy to keep the car stable. Front engined, of course, set up for as little understeer as possible, and that simply makes them tricky off throttle, entering turns on bumps. So he gets oversteer, corrects it, bit of a tank slapper, and with the physics, the tire physics the way they are, you tend to lose a significant chunk of grip and time by doing something extreme like that. So, and he goes on the grass, and that's oh yeah, he bumped into that. That's, we do have damage. So that's sad. I think he had to make a pit stop and lost a lot of time. So Remmers was free, but Oscar is faster. It's a problem. But like I said, permanent damage for the permanent ballast for the rest of the season will sort that out. Just don't tell him. The other Peugeot is on my back, so conspiracy theory might be that perhaps the Peugeot has the longest wheelbase, making it quicker. But in testing, it's perhaps a 10 for 2 temps at most, and the skill spread on this field is a second or two. It's not esports level, and it's fine that the cars may be 1 or 2 temps, perhaps quicker or slower. And perhaps even the shorter wheelbase cars might be better on a couple tracks and the long wheelbase one. Yeah, so this is where I'm thinking we are approaching that corner where Jimmy lost it. So it's a tricky flat out almost 5th gear and then trying to slow the thing down. And here I'm thinking he's not going to do it, and here I'm thinking he's doing it. And I'm not comfortable going too wide here. Can barely. This is hard enough on your own, so I'm sort of staying safe and kind of giving him the place. In all instincts, of course, go fight it and go too wide, but Remmers not gonna ram. It would be a shame, because these guys have probably played iRacing and other leagues and other race room and the Corsa. So much more experience around other cars, and I don't have that, so that's why I'm not doing as much here. So I want to have a look, but they're quite quick and experienced, so they're not just gonna fold under the pressure of rammers. So I think speed-wise I'm fine, but racecraft-wise I'm not there. It's a bit of a gap behind me, so I think this is might be how things finish. So I want to be in the mirrors, but I'm not really planning to make a move, and I think it's clear to the guy in front as well that yeah, I'm in the mirrors, but he's not gonna do it. This was a good experience, just trying to stay close, learn how, you know, where the cars are, where they're gonna be, where they brake, where I can brake, how close I can be, not making mistakes, trying to anyway. But it's tricky to pass, especially when you're not that confident racing. Always looking, but you can see I'm way too far back and I'm not seriously doing it. A bit of a lockup tends to happen, especially the inside rear, but that doesn't really cause a big issue. The tire smoke is that's hard. Tire smoke is a bit too eager in the game, so you get a lot of tire smoke without actually anything serious happening. Unloaded inside rear is not a problem to lock. So here I'm thinking, we're lapping Mr. Baguette. So this could be an opportunity, because his exit is now compromised. He's exiting on the inside, but you can already see I'm understeering, because I'm going more power, which is not always the best way to exit a corner in front wheel drive. But still, I might have a run here. We have a wrinkle cock. the names there as well. So we are lapping now, and perhaps this is my chance, but I do get a slipstream, but then what do you do? Gotta do something. So here I am, but I'm also chickening out. So I'm actually braking a little. Sadly, wrinkle cock doesn't get in the way. And basically we're back where we started, in a place where I cannot really make a move. Ooh, getting close, missing my braking point. Mildly terrifying. But it is very cool to be racing and to have that situation where, oh, there's a back marker. Perhaps that can be, you know, that's sort of a gamble. It can be your advantage or disadvantage. But it didn't work out there. Now I could have just kept it on the inside, but I'm just not confident with the racing, as I've said many times. So how does the race unfold? Well, I think we sort of stay here. By now have a sizable gap. These are the super tourers at this speed. Tire wear does become a thing. In the previous seasons, tire wear was a constant, so grip started to drop away right away at a constant rate. So every lap you would lose a certain amount of grip. And in this mod we don't have any data or anything, but they're fine for about 10 minutes, and then they start to sort of drop quite a bit suddenly, and then you get a very slow, gradual drop of grip. And here with a 25-minute race, it was enough to get some grip loss, and of course mostly on the front, because the rear tires, they are not overworked at all, so they don't wear half as fast as the fronts. So the rear tires are still in their happy zone, when the fronts are losing a few percent, so you get more understeer. And getting on the power is just a little hard. Oh, it's a big mistake, but here we probably already struggling to get that power down, and I'm on the inside, but also didn't get a great exit. So this was an opportunity if I had more experience, but didn't manage to take it. I do recall seeing more people struggle a bit to the end of the race. You can affect, of course, the tire wear quite a bit. It's a lot to do with the temperature of the tire. So we do have quite a fast changing surface temperature now with this mod, which is sort of hypothetical. It doesn't really affect the grip as much, but it will make the tire wear quicker. So the hotter it is, the more wear there might be. And there are some different driving styles, but it's also very hard if you're quick to sort of really get less wear at the same quick lap time. So there will be some differences at the end of the race. I haven't got the data of all the others. Driving style will make a little difference. Locking up isn't really a problem for wear, sadly. It's not complicated enough tire wear model in this game. Flat spots are, I think, disabled, or at least quite fake, sadly, in AMS. So there is an element of caring for your tires, but it's not huge. But we do see people struggle towards the end of the race with the understeer. And I hope that I'm fairly smooth and I might have like 1 or 2% more grip at the end of the race than some of these guys, but I need more than that and more confidence to do it. So, but we are approaching some back markers, so I'm thinking perhaps I have to stay close, and who knows what happens. And that's the end of the race. So P3, not bad. These are very ineffective tire barriers. So here we are, race 2. What's going on? Race 2, a bit of ballast now for me. I think the top 3 or 4 get ballast. Not the best start here. The Peugeot's doing well. Side by side with Simon. Trying not to outbrake myself and hoping everybody warmed their tires on the opening lap. So ended up here Sorry about the sound, I think we need to fix. So I wanted to stay safe on the inside. But then I saw there's too many people entering this turn, so I'm just really going on the curb trying to avoid everybody. I think Simon runs wide on his own. Now this is the trouble with racing and a train being on the ideal line and me being on the outside, so I'm pretty sure I'll struggle against the Mondeo here. I don't think I've passed him, which is correct, otherwise I would have killed him. Inside line, so I do get the corner. Already I lost a place or two, and two actually. Starting the race, of course, on fresh tires, and we just came out of a worn tire race, so you have to get used to the grip levels again. Things are getting close in the front there. So I'm being followed, but not really closely. And this fight that's going on in front means it's possible to stick with them a bit. Just see, oh, lots of locked out tires. Yeah, it's you people following the mistake of the guy in front. But also the gap disappearing, so we might have a bit of contact here. But it's kind of fine. Crappy exit, so I bet the Ford is going to be sniffing. Yep, sniffing Ford. With the physics this year, the tires are a bit different, a bit more load sensitive, and everything is a bit more complicated at least. It seems that the weight penalties affect the car more. Last season it seemed like sometimes the weight barely affected the car. Acceleration of course, but not really cornering or braking, because the brakes weren't that functional last season. But now you do get some acceleration, cornering, braking penalty from the weight penalty. But I was P3 the last race, so my penalty isn't large, so I cannot blame a few kilos on my performance. One thing as well with the tire wear is that if you start the race with a setup that's very oversteery, in high speed for example, turn 1, you might struggle there, but after a number of laps, when the fronts start to go off, it will come back to you perhaps, and it will be nicely balanced if you can survive the first lap. So how do you set up the car? In the end I think stability helps. There are other ways to make the car oversteer, but they feel faster, but they tend to be causing more moments and difficulty, so you overshoot the limit rather than be on the limit. So a safer setup in my hands is probably the quicker one compared to an unstable setup. So I'm hoping for a better exit, but not really. I tend to be too eager on the throttle when I see somebody in front make a mistake, and then I have understeer a bit and I lose some corner exit speed myself, so that's not great. So here I'm having a bit of a moment again, which is bad. So I know the Ford's gonna be there and I want to protect the inside, which I think is the safest bet. I don't know if it'll work though, because I also don't want to run into the guys in front. So there's a bit of defensive driving, I think fairly normal driving, and even though I have no race experience, that seems a very logical thing to do. Cover the inside. So this is a 15-minute race with less fuel, less tire wear to manage. Oh, do it again. What? Style, I'm doing the style points here. Again covering the inside, but now he is very much alongside me, so I might be in trouble. I do manage to keep it on the inside, but I think we are gonna lose the position now. He's on the nice inside line, and I want to stay there. Yeah, it's easy to run wide, but I'm still side by side. Oh, so we do have a slight murder, which is my fault, obviously. The problem is, of course, oh, we're side by side. I want to give him the room, but then you hit this curb so hard that, of course, what's going to happen? I'm not going to make the turn. So I think it's... the problem is mainly being too careful. Actually, the intention is to really not hit him, but then the curb will make me go where I don't want to go. So it's fine though. I think we don't have damage and he gets the place. So that's what tends to happen in my case. I think I want to be too careful not hitting people, which makes me do lines that end up hitting people. Something like that. Fights going on ahead. Ooh, is this gonna go right? As is Niels turning into jam rammers? Close. So at some point I'm getting a bit more aggressive, but I want to do it. You can already see that this is risky instead of proper. So there was this voice in my head, calm down, don't be crazy. The frustrating thing is that I know I am as quick or quicker than 2 or 3 of the guys in front, but cannot do much in racing at the moment. It is still really enjoyable though to be close and get a feel for racing again, so that was fun. Not in the draft here, and I'm just hoping they will make mistakes that I can profit from, but there is a spread of skill in the field, but we are somewhere near the front, and these guys do a bit of online racing and have some nerves. They tend to keep it. Ooh, that's caught me by surprise. Keep it together quite well, so they're not budging under pressure as much as I would like to see. So nobody behind me. Somebody went off there. I think this is where we will kind of stay. Oh, there's a change of position there. So now Oscar is probably feeling the weight. He's got 40 kilos, I think. I think he won the first race. And that's something that's worse than last year with the cars. So I'm thinking, well, he might be struggling with tire wear and temp, and in general being slower with the added weight. So this could be something. But I'm also in do not murder him mode, so we'll see. I wasn't planning on doing anything here, but we both run wide. And I managed to get the position in kind of a clumsy way, but he was, I think, really struggling with the tires. Oh, we still have audio issues here. I think we can fix those. Oscar doing the old rear end snifferoo. I'm not comfortable staying that close. I'm very scared to do that. But without the weight penalty, I should get a car distance or 2 on him on the exit. Cameraman, yes. I'm slowly pulling away from Oscar here and getting close to the people in front again, but then what am I going to do? And this race is probably almost over. Simon in front. I'm not too afraid of Oscar behind me because he's struggling, so that frees you up a bit, thinking about placing your car in the mirrors of the guy in front, but he's in the Volvo. They feel invincible with the safety of that. Struggles ahead of us. I'm just hoping punt each other off so I can profit, but it's not happening. Very close. Oh, slight punt. Oh, hello Oscar. Most of the guys being in the UK get pretty good ping, and like I said, the netcode tends to be quite good in the game for a slight contact, not resulting in stratosphere, moon landing type Apollo missions. Oh, what's happening in front? Everybody's slowing down. Even Oscar's getting kinda there again. But where to go? I'm quicker now because of the fight, but I also don't know. There's no super pursuit mode button that makes me jump. These, hey, that's an idea. That's an idea. We should do that. The race must be running on some of the last laps now as well, I think. Not the best exit. And that was race 2. Final race, third race, 10 minutes, some form of reversed grid, but I think where I finished is sort of kind of the same grid position for me. Oscar in front, 1, 2, 3. P7 for me, and I see a Vectron, the front row, where we belong. So this is a 10-minute race, and let's see how this goes. In the pre-season testing, the third race tended to be the one where the elbows got some work. Oh yeah, let's see Brungelborg's moment here. See ya! That was an amazing start. Really, really amazing start. That was really cool. Tiny bit of wheel spin, but he got away so well. It is very hard to control the clutch, even though, of course, there are pedal brands that magically improve your getting away. So, Wangles is first. Great job there. How did my start go? Well, I know that's not me. We'll get back to me. Not great. Sorry, wrong buttons. Volvo on the outside. So I don't want to be causing a pile-up. And this time the train is on the outside, which is bad for the third turn that comes up now, but I can slot in, thankfully. So let's see what happens this race. By now we are getting used to the track. I think the fastest laps also happened in this race, for me anyway, quicker than qualifying. We have 1 hour practice, which is enough to be pretty good. Oh, you see, okay, now if I was good and comfortable with racing, I have the run, and I was passed on the inside here in the first race, but no, I didn't want to do it. From hero to zero can happen real quick there, so I didn't. Real close. I think we tandem drift coming up. Whee! Gotta give props to Simon, that's the real drift, and I'm a bit lame here. How to lose. How to lose. 1, 2, 3 positions with one simple lift of the throttle. Braking points, nah. Private Vectra overtaking me there. Just keep my bumper beside, but see, if I was come lately there, I wasn't gonna be confident enough to know that I'm ahead and got in front. It is more than fine, but that's the skill I don't have yet with racing. So again, we have the trouble of being quicker than 4 or 3 of the guys in front, but not having the skill to get in front of them. And copying their mistakes, whoops. No C-Ford. I don't know if I do myself any favors because I'm missing the braking points as often as the others, although here in this case this was a problem. I didn't want to be on the outside and I go over the grass and I probably lose the place. It's a very short race, so there isn't a lot of time. Ooh, how is that gonna go? Well, some elbows involved, but the almighty Vectra. Now I'm on the right. Do I have the bravery? I think I'm just gonna leave it here. So I crashed into it. Was probably Leto last race here by going on the inside curb and completely going straight ahead, and now I'm thinking, well, there's somebody on the inside when I keep 2 cars worth of space. And of course I'm completely missing the turn. So here I was thinking, should I give the place or not, and about here I decided nope. Race free, elbows out. No presence. There's a slight sniff happening there. So I'm gaining a bit now on the Vauxhall in front, but getting past will be different. At this point I'm also happy to not have completely murdered anybody yet, so I'm just hoping they get a poor exit here and I get a better run out of this and then perhaps go side by side. But oh, I am doing it. Oh, close your eyes. I don't know how this is gonna end up. Yeah, predictable. Managed to not lose the place, although I am in trouble now. The problem is when you outbrake somebody, you don't do it by braking harder, you do it by braking smarter, and I just did the brake harder method. Oh, little nudge. The Nissan is getting very nosy. Close. Yeah, not happening. Probably allowing people in the back to catch up again. Oh, getting a bit loose here. Too late. You see a bit of too much slip there, a bit of opposite lock while trying to collect it, braking. Did fairly well to not lose time there, despite being close to the point of getting out of control. How will this go? I don't remember. think I'm gonna chicken out again. Although, to be fair, was not given space there, so you see, that's the thing now. I don't want to have the reputation of getting out of people's way. And that's something that I would not have the confidence to do that on the outside. I think, oh, is he there? Are we gonna all die? But I wasn't really alongside, so yeah, I think he could do that. But that takes some confidence and race experience to do, and I don't have that. That's the end of race 3. As Chaos is about to hit the tire wall. So, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do these race reports. They're fairly boring, but it's something I never really do, and you've never really seen me race. So if you want to see me race and talk about how I managed to go backwards in almost every one of these races, this is a video. And I am very much looking forward to the next races. Online racing is great fun. It's very nice to be a part of it. It's a friendly atmosphere with these guys, but still fairly serious, but also a lot of laughter. I think that's exactly what sim racing is to me. You know, not trying 8 hours a day and then being grumpy when you get third place in some esports race because you didn't win. Nah, it's just an enjoyable experience and a very fun way to spend the Sunday afternoon, and you go away happy regardless of your position. I think winning is one of the worst inventions of modern mankind, where you're not happy unless you win. That's the most pointless thing, really. It's not for me anyway. I think enjoyment always beats the classification, and you want to do well, but what's the point of winning? What does it bring you in life? I mean, you're not gonna become a Formula 1 driver or go anywhere professionally if you win a couple of league races or you do win some iRacing races. So I don't understand the mentality of wanting to win, and in the sense that not being happy unless you win, I think it's mentally messed up, but everybody has their own way in life and their own opinion. I really enjoyed this and I'm looking forward to the next races, so if I do a race report and more than 4 people watch this, I might do more, but we'll see. I am thinking about doing a driving session and talking a bit about front wheel drive, which is just a thing I neglected, really. Front wheel drive, but that they are fun and interesting in their own quirky little way. Thanks for watching this, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.